Welcome back. And if you missed the last little segment on the introduction to this Kappa series, please go ahead and take a look at that. For this segment now, we're going to work with the physical body to generate some heat and wind. And what I'd like for you to have with you is a yoga blanket, which we are both sitting on, and potentially a chair. Okay? We will see right now if the chair is what you are, what you benefit from the most or not. But that's an alternative there for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a seat on that chair. And so the kappa, because there's a lot of earth and there's a lot of water, the tendency may be to just kind of like flop back into the back of the chair. So go ahead and just do your, yeah. So then the heaviness of earth and water just bring things down. So it's really important that we come more to the edge of the seat, that we find those sits bones on the chair and lift and have that ascending quality to lift, to expand, and to open the body. And then from here, gracefully with the feet directly below the knees, with the toes pointing straight ahead as he just, this incredible yogi naturally does, go ahead and stand up and out of the chair. And I'm going to take this mat out of the way so that you're even. Yeah. So just standing up and out of the chair in your optimal posture. Go ahead. Up and down. Oh, forgive me. Yes. So up and out of the chair and then back down. I forgot to say that. I was just thinking it happens sometimes. And back up again. Using what? What are you using to come up? Just feel it. Feel it out. What are you using? You're using the quads? Yeah. What else?
The glutes.
The glutes. What else? Keep going. It's okay. There's no
Core
wrong.
muscles.
Huh?
Core muscles.
The core muscles, yeah. So keep on that. And I am going to give an alternative that may be appropriate for those of you who can be kneeling comfortably. And for those of you who don't feel comfortable kneeling, you will want to work on that up and down the chair, because we very much need to, yes, connect to the ground, but we need to be able to come out of the ground as well. So notice that I opened up the yoga blanket like so. I am kneeling on the blanket with both my knees just underneath the hip. And then from here, I'm going to drop to one side. Notice that one knee came up. And I'm going to come up. And I'm going to drop to the other side. And so to start for a kappa, there might be this sense that let me start with the ground, hands on the ground, and just shifting from side to side. And then just as you are doing with the core, by the way, you can keep going because the kappa doesn't want to keep going, right? The kappa is much more comfortable sitting down. But the idea is to break up the stagnation by doing that which is a bit uncomfortable for the kappa until she gets in the rhythm of that heat and the wind. So using the hands side to side, and if okay, lifting up with the arms and scooping back down. So connecting with the earth. And here with the arms, you can have this watery quality. Yeah. Down and out. So there's a flow to this. And there is an ease also in the effort, an ease through your breath, holding you, assisting you in the motion, up and down. taking breaks as needed and coming back. Do you want to give this one a try?
Sure.
Okay, come on now. So you're kneeling. Good. And you start with the hands on the ground just to get a sense of how the hips are going to move. Drop as you drop to one side. Yeah, this knee comes up. Perfect. Bring the foot out to the side a little bit and then bring the hands down. You can keep the hands down at first and just drop. Yeah, you got it. And then switch sides, keeping the hands down. And switch. Yeah, lovely. How does that feel? It's a wonderful way to break up stagnation that's right at the base, the pelvic floor. You're lifting, you're rising from the core and breaking up that excess weight at the base. That is okay?
Mm-hmm.
And see now how it feels with the arms coming up, if it feels appropriate. So then the arms are down. And then as you lift the torso up, you lift the arms because the arms are an extension of that spine. So the arms are assisting you in lifting up and rising up. Yeah, it's a little tricky for sure. Yeah, so the knee down, yeah, and then back. Lovely. And then the knee comes down. Uh-huh. Yes, and then drop to the side, the other side. By the way, he's never done this before, so it's as it may be the case with you, something takes a little moment. So when I'm here on the side, I use my core, right, to lift up, but then right away I bring the other knee down and up. So there's this momentum and up. There's momentum carrying you up and through. And there's also that willingness to feel awkward. Yeah. So the kappa wants to do what the kappa is accustomed to doing. Change is very much a resistance for a kappa. So to just be willing to be with something that feels odd and uncomfortable and just move through it a little bit, that is in itself the practice. So well done. Well done. So for those of you who are not comfortable with kneeling, you're staying on the chair. And for those of you who are okay with kneeling, go ahead and come into both knees. So maybe you do the chair just for now as I show this. And this is a little bit more stable on the base, but it is asking for a little bit movement within that stability. So we kind of did this arm thing in the last movement, yeah? And now I'm going to invite you to do the arm, to orchestrate the arm in such a way that as one is going up, the other's down, and one is going back, the other comes forward. And then as if you were swimming on the lake, taking backstrokes, reaching up through the thumb, and then scooping back behind you as the other goes up. And then doing your best to coordinate the movement as if if the water was behind you, supporting you, lifting you. And yet you need to call upon that fire and the wind to get to some place, yes, to get to shore. And so you're using the arms as windmills to assist you in that. And then from here, those of you who are kneeling or maybe even sitting, you can feel comfortable with moving the whole torso back a little. Moving the whole torso back a little. If you are kneeling down, it gets to open up the area of the psoas as well, which is really interesting. Wherever you may be, that you just allow yourself to connect with your breath as you do the movement. So surely you are loosening up the shoulder joints. Do you want to try this one? See how it feels? Okay. So the shoulder joints are getting a nice warm up. The pelvic floor is getting a nice warm up. Yes, lovely. So bring the torso forward, and then you can take the torso back slightly. You feel the opening there to the front of the body? Yeah?
Yes.
Nice. How does that feel?
Lovely.
It's nice, right? Yeah, good. And when you need a break, you take that break. You come back to a stabilizing breath. You restore ease. So here, imagining as you lean back, this recognition that there's support behind you. Giving yourself to that support so that you can lean and let go a little further. Yeah. So let me be your water here. Keep coming back. Yes. Nice. Honoring the spine so you're not going any further than it's safe. Keeping the legs engaged will help. And then taking a pause as needed. So then you may ask, well, how often do I do this, right? How many repetitions, or what's reasonable? What's reasonable is what you can do at this time, and what you can do is, however many repetitions you feel comfortable with doing, or you feel that that is appropriate for you, come back, return to a stable breath. Once you've returned to a stable breath, ask the body, is there one more round to give to this? Then you go for it. The recognition that because this is a kappa pacifying class, we're looking to take this energy that has been stored and begin to utilize some of it. But we don't want to deplete it, right? So some of us don't have excess energy built up. So we want to make sure that we just do a little bit, and then have that be it. Just have the experience of how it feels to have a little bit more heat, a little bit more wind in the body when feeling stagnant. All right. So just to kind of loosen up the back a little bit, especially if you were leaning back somewhat, let's go ahead and work with a twist. Twists are really helpful too for breaking up kapha dosha, because it's a way to ignite more fire. But we'll do it nice and gently. You can just sit in this way, like this. Okay, good. And then from here, so both feet out to one side. Yeah. And then from here, go ahead and prop yourself up so that you notice that one tush may be off the ground, and you want to do your best to have both sits bones as close to the ground as you can. So I like to fold up a blanket like so, and then place it right between my sits bones, so that even if one hip is propping up a bit, it's not too much. So go ahead and do that. In fact, yeah, come more to the edge. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then from here, go ahead and just take a gentle twist to the right. Good. Feel that the whole torso is lifting and rising. Good. And then go ahead and go further and allow that left hip to come with you. Go further. Even stretch your arms out. Maybe even grab onto the railing. And those of you who have more room behind you, maybe even take your forearms to the ground. So allowing the whole spine to free up in that rotation. Good, beautiful. And then coming back to center. Good. And switching the direction of your legs. So just lifting up to the torso first as you sit here in this position. Good, just lifting through the torso, even though there's a slight tilt, propping yourself up in such a way that you feel both sides of the torso nice and long. Noticing the base, your earth, noticing that pond, that water that's right at the pelvic region, and then rising up from that, and then begin to rotate to the left. Nice, beautiful. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale further. And now begin to take the right hip with you into that rotation. Good. Breathe into the back of your left lung. And then exhale, twist further. Good. Inhale back to center. Okay. And just for good measure, would you like to do it one more round? I think that was a yes, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. So from here, a gentle twist. So think more of lengthening the spine and then go with it and take the pelvis with you. Take the hip with you. Lift more through the back of your right lungs. Breathe in there and then exhale, fold more through the left side. And inhaling back up. Switch legs. Lovely. And so yeah, just always begin by acknowledging the entire torso before you consider where to go with it. So take a nice deep breath in, center yourself, find your base, and then go for a gentle twist. And then go ahead and allow the pelvis to move with you in that twist. Good. Beautiful. Okay. And as you're ready, come on back. And then just sit in a easy pose. How do you feel?
Lovely.
He feels lovely. So for the next little segment, we will go inwardly a little bit more. Less activity, no activity. So please be sure to join us for that, as now you are fully more prepared to appreciate that aspect as well. Namaste.